Hi, this is Chris Gardner again, and in this video I wanted to address or answer one of the common questions we get, which is all about how do we get more sales into the business, right? And one of the concepts we use is the idea of marketing pillars in the business. And the analogy is if you're creating a building, right, you're putting a building up and that's going to have a roof. And what you want is that roof to be really well supported and so of course it doesn't fall down. And it's the same, I'm using that as an analogy for a business. You're trying to create a business and you're trying to grow that business, and therefore you want it to be supported as much as possible so that it's a good, strong, it has a good structure to it, a good, strong base, right? Well, there's lots of businesses that are really relying on only one pillar, by which I mean one method of bringing business in to bring it so that you can earn revenues, right? So effectively, they're designing a building as if it was like a capital T. You've got your roof and they've got one pillar. Now, you can structure a building like that, but it certainly isn't very stable. It doesn't make much sense, right? But they're usually only using one marketing pillar. So what do I mean by that? Well, it could be, for example, that their one route to getting business in is through advertising. That would be one of the marketing pillars. It might be online advertising, offline advertising. So they could be doing all sorts of different types of advertising, but in essence, they've only got that one pillar, which is to do with advertising. And so if you only have one route, it's a pretty wobbly situation. It's not a very stable business, because what happens if the advertising that you're doing becomes less effective? What if the market becomes saturated? What if a big competitor came in with more spend and could take a lot of advertising space away from you? Your business is at jeopardy. So you want to build in more marketing pillars. So what could they be? Well, one example would be networking, for example. It works for some businesses and not for others, of course, but it's another marketing pillar. It's different from advertising, and you can go out, make connections with people, and if you do it really well and build out concentric circles of contacts and referrals to grow the business, yes, it can be very successful. So networking is another example. Publishing, interestingly, publishing articles and getting like PR and blogs and other visible media is another marketing pillar, because what you're doing is you're building awareness and you're building authority and trust by people reading and watching your materials. So publishing would be another pillar in the marketing. It's different from advertising. It's clearly not the same. It's different from networking. It's not the same as that, right? So there's another example. You could set up joint ventures or strategic alliances sometimes with competitors and sometimes with other non-competing businesses, so that you can do joint promotions together. But the idea is that you can then access their customer base and vice versa, of course. So there's another route to get more business in that's different from advertising, it's different from networking, it's different from publishing. So you've got joint ventures and strategic alliances. So you get the idea how you can set up a whole number of different marketing pillars. Now there's lots of ways of doing that. Cold calling and telemarketing would be another one. Lots of people don't like that. Lots of businesses are built on it. In fact, there are plenty of businesses who are still using good old shoe leather. They're walking around local areas, knocking on doors, visiting businesses, visiting homes, and making very good business that way. If that was the only pillar they were using, it'd be either slower growth or risky growth when that becomes less effective. But added to the arsenal of materials and added to another pillar, the stronger that business is going to become. So I hope that makes sense, the idea of marketing pillars in the business. If you want to know more about what those pillars are, do drop us a line. I'm very happy to share more of that. But I wanted just to open your mind for now and give you some ideas of ways of structuring the business, because if you've got more pillars in place, you have inherently built more certainty into your business, and that's a very good thing. If you've got more certainty in the business, then you've got more value in the business. Actually, it becomes it's an asset that becomes more valuable, it's worth more. So it's well worth doing, but it also gives you a huge amount of peace of mind, because you know whatever's happening in the market, you've got an approach that's going to be okay, that's going to be robust. If one pillar crumbles and starts becoming less effective, you've got others that are keeping it going. Your business is much stronger as a result. I'm sure you understand what I mean. I hope that makes sense, and I look forward to seeing you in another video very soon.